Someone mentioned the other day on in the comments about, how are we going to police? Are we going to militarize it and put more soldiers on the road? I don't think militarizing our federal interstate is a solution. If you were to ask me, we're going to need more than just human bodies on the road. You've already seen what they're doing so far. They will just stand there with their little guns. They'll see a car coming at 80 miles per hour. They'll stand there and start waving that car to stop. Only for them to do what? To look inside. Ah, bros. Okay, good evening. Okay, go. You call that policing? Or that's just somebody waiting to be killed on the freeway? For it to work, in order for us to repay, we have to implement that fuel tax fund. How much is a liter of fuel right now in Nigeria? Is it 800 naira, 900 naira? I heard it's, at one point I was paying 1,500 naira per liter. Let's just round it up. Let's say it's 1,000 naira per liter. Would anybody object if 100 naira went into the highway tax fund? Would you? To repay? You see, this road, don't get me wrong. If they're asking me, if they're thinking that they're going to get their money back by just toll alone, they are in for a rude awakening. And my other worry too, because you know that Nigeria is going to default. So when you're allowing a private company like Shagori Group to carry the heavy funding, to carry the heavy lifting, and then they are depending on Nigeria to come up with their own portion of the loan. If Nigeria cannot meet up, like how NNPC was unable to meet up in the Dangote situation, do we then now turn over federal interstates to the private sector? Because that's what's going to happen. You're already seeing they are rushing it. I saw in the news the other day, they're talking about, the first so how many kilometers or so is going to open at a certain date. Already, I can imagine all those children now, all those small kids carrying a chin on their heads and trying to sell to motorists. I can already see it. Do we have provisions for that to prevent that from happening? These are children. When I was a child, I had a paper route when I was like 12 years old. You get on your bike, and here in the US, you get on your bike and you drive neighborhoods, and you have a little route, whether it's your street, you just go from house to house. I have my little bag. I'll take the newspaper and I'll throw it to the front lawn. I did that for a while. That's how we made money to buy little sweets that we want, or little trading cards or this. That's how we. And then you graduate after that. My dad bought me a lawnmower. It was the push one, the manual one, not the gas lawnmower. I used to go knock door to door. Hey, good morning, ma'am. How are you today? I'll mow your lawn for $1. I had my own little business when I was like 12 years old, mowing lawns on the weekends, because that was the only time I was allowed to do it. I would just go, instead of going out playing with my friends, I would just go mow people's lawn, and I had them on rotation. Every 2 weeks, I'll take my little push lawn mower there and just go push, mow a lawn. By the time I'm done that day, I've made like what, $20, $30. That felt like 1,000 back then. And then after that, you graduate. When you're like 14 or 15, you can go into a grocery store and start bagging groceries for minimum wage. Even younger than that, maybe at 7, 6 years old, your parents will let you open up a little lemonade store in front of the house where you sell like a cup of lemonade to your neighbors for 25 cents a cup. not Nigeria. You see a 7-year-old child on the road walking. Instead of being in school, they're on the road walking. So that's it, guys. You don't have to think too far as like how we're going to recoup this money. It's not selling more oil. Everything about Nigeria is just okay. We are hedging everything on oil, 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 oil. You got to come up with creative ways. And I've given you some ideas. Look at how the United States system is doing it. That federal highway tax fund. Every gallon of fuel that you buy, every liter of fuel that you buy in Nigeria contributes to the development of doing. We should have that in place. And we should also, how do we get more Nigerians to pay taxes? How do we hold people accountable to pay their taxes? I know now we have you have your NIN number. I think that's like an equivalent of the social security number here in the US, is it not? Where you can track people. Do we even do that back home? Let's look at these. CJ, what's going on? Healthy lifestyle. Welcome, welcome. More exports. Let's answer some questions here. More exports, increasing taxes, more tourism. I think the road is going to do that. As far as like export goes, remember, we need to have that road. It's only going to help with ports. Because I'm telling you right now, it's not that we don't have products in Nigeria. It's hard to just move products from one side to another. It's very difficult. Here, you can drive as far as your fuel allows. And when you are low, you pull into a gas station, you top off, maybe you rest a little bit I'm talking about truckers, because we need trucks. Come to the US, Amazon, you're in Florida, Amazon trucks are everywhere now. Walmart trucks are everywhere. Now you need trucks to be able to move. That is usually how a high percentage of the consumer goods in the US moves from manufacturing factories to retail stores to your household onto your plate. It's through road logistics. Second to that is railway. They move a lot of consumer products through railway. So this road is needed. I am 100% for it. But a lot of people just don't know. They think it's the Nigerian government that's funding it. No, it's actually a partnership. To be honest with you, it should be reversed. It shouldn't be a Shagori group taking up 75% of the funding. What that tells me is that Nigeria is not confident that it can pull this off. Because if that's the case, why would you then allow a private sector company to fund a federal road and then charge toll gate fees to recoup their expenses? It just tells me that the Nigerian government is not confident. You see, it's one thing to see to see the renderings. Renderings are always sexy. Renderings look good. I'm talking about like design renderings for those who have built something. You see the plan, you see the render, you see the drawing. It kind of looks good, right? But when you start building, you gotta worry about theft. You gotta worry about vandalism. Already, you know they are going to start stealing transformers. Or okay, how are we going to light 700 kilometers of road in a country where the average citizen can't go a day with full electricity? Have we factored in how we are going to light 700 kilometers of road, of a coastline freeway? You know those guys, those Agbiros. You know those ones with no regard for private property, with no regard for people's property. You know they're going to go and start stealing light bulbs. They'll start stealing transformers on the road. Who are they? Yes, Shagor Group. I already told you. Mission Impossible. We'll see. Will the gas stations be owned by the politicians? No, I think that I think most gas stations in Nigeria are privatized now. I think the only gas station that's owned by the Nigerian government, isn't it the NNPC gas station? They also have retail outlets in Nigeria. They're also allowed to have their gas stations, but I think private sectors like the Oandos, I mean, a lot of people are going to make a lot of money on this project. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people are going to make a lot of money, but only if done right. Look, CJ, in my neighborhood alone, a square mile of my neighborhood, there's like 8 different gas stations conveniently placed. Right now, my eyesight, there's a gas station. My eyesight here, there's a gas station conveniently placed. Imagine, and you go if you're abroad, if you can walk into a block right now and see like 4 different gas stations all within a stone's throw away from each other. That is what's also going to happen with with gas stations all over these 700 kilometers. I think you should not go more than 1 kilometer without seeing a gas station. So yes, there's going to be gas stations built. It's going to be a combination of the NNPC retail gas stations and also private sector gas stations that's going to be built all up and down on both directions of this coastal highway. But they are going to be needed. Again, I don't know if Nigeria has a highway tax fund where they tax every liter of fuel that's purchased. That would be one of the best ways they can recoup this $12 billion investment. And then what happens? Let's just say it's recouped, which it's not going to be in our lifetime. Does the road then revert back to the federal government of Nigeria? This is weird, man. You look at US interstates, and I've made this comparison with the Pacific Coast Highway, beautiful modern economic marvel in California. There is no, there was, there were multiple contractors at any given point. What is peculiar in Nigeria's case is this is a partnership between Nigeria and one company, Shagori. You see, people say high tech. High tech is just the construction company, it's a subsidiary of Shagori. So explain to me how it makes sense. Is this like a lost leader for Shagori? Today, are they going, guys, you know what a lost leader is, right? This is a project that you don't make money on, but then you do hope to make money on other projects by the same people. It's like most US grocery stores. Like you walk into a grocery store, groceries in the US are lost leaders. Your grocery chains, they don't make money off groceries. They make money off of when you walk in. That's why you see now all these stores, they have other things inside, chairs, tools. That's where their markup is. The grocery is just to get you to enter. Milk, this $3.25 gallon of milk. Grocery stores lose money all the time on milk. But they are just hoping that when you walk in to buy milk, you're going to then realize that I need soap, oh, I need slippers, I need chairs, I need umbrella. And before you know what's happening, you guys can relate now. You walk into a store to buy a gallon of milk and you walk out with a cart full of groceries and other products that you didn't initially go for. You see, that milk is the loss leader. So is this $12 billion project a loss leader for them, knowing that, okay, we know we are not going to recoup, we know we are not going to make money, but you know what? But there's this other contract. It's a $1 billion contract. We can probably do it with a billion, but we'll tell the government that it's a $5 billion contract. And then we'll pocket 4 billion as a result of us bailing out the government with this project. So I'm looking at this as a loss leader project for Shagori Group. Can you blame them? You can't blame them. They are just ones that are positioned. Because remember, no other companies. It was not an open bid. It wasn't as if the government said, okay, we want to build a Lagos Calabar Coast Highway. Everybody submit your bids. Nope, they already determined from the get-go that they were going with Shagori. That is not how you do business. In the United States, when the government, if you go to sam.gov, that's where all the government contracts are. Any company that's qualified can bid for government projects and contracts. In Nigeria, this was just straight outright awarded to Shagori without consideration for other companies. I think the Ethiopian citizens and diaspora helped build their new dam. Yes, yes, yes. There's got to be a construction fund in there. I'm telling you, every time that you buy gas in the United States of America, 25 to 35 cents per gallon goes towards the federal highway fund. And also remember in the US here, we also have sales tax. So if I were to go right now and buy a wallet for $100 and and the tax is 8%. So it's going to be $108. So a part of that extra $8, a part of that goes into the development of roads in that county. So depending on which part of the country you are in, your sales tax might be higher than others. Like I lived in LA for 12 years. The sales tax in LA is 9.5%. The sales tax in Nevada is like 8.2%. But you are taxed. For instance, I just bought my wife's birthday gift. I bought her, she wants a case of red wine, red blend wine. I paid $100 for it, free shipping, but I had to pay adult signature tax and I had to pay other taxes. By the time it was all said and done, it was about $112. A portion of that goes into the development of roads. So the citizens, Nigeria just needs to, I talked to someone back home on this whole tax issue. I'm like, I want to pay tax. So, why? So make government thief am. It's like Nigerian people don't even trust the government to be able to put their tax naira on projects, construction projects, and infrastructures.